thinking about those conversations, and actually if we're looking as well about after treatment, when you're wanting to have those conversations with doctors, so when you are thinking, I'm going in to have my checkup, it's once every 3 months at the moment, and I've written down my list of every ailment that I think is wrong with me. This is what I used to do. Oh my word, everything's here. But then as soon as you get in that room, that I wouldn't do anything. I'd probably just try to get out as quick as I could. What could I do better?
Right. First thing is to acknowledge, yes, you're going to the doctor's rooms, you're going to their surgery, you're going to their space, all right? But it's your time, all right? So this is your consultation. It's your time with the consultant. And often we don't feel empowered to say things because the doctors are busy and they kind of have their agenda. But your agenda is as important as the doctor's.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can help you feel confident about going and just saying, and I would always just write down a list, bullet points, go, and then with some people they have really, get to know their doctors really well. You can even send them an email in advance. Can we talk about this? Just do one liner, just to let you know, I'm coming in and say, can I talk about this? Or if you've had a consultation before and you've got another coming up, so can we talk about this next time?
Yeah.
So the doctor knows, because again, they don't know. And they may just carry on with their agenda and thinking that everything's fine because they haven't picked up the stuff you want to say. So I think, or I would go in with a list, and you have your list in your hand, and you say, hello, Dr. Very nice to meet you. I've got a list, by the way. And they say, okay, that's fine, all right, we'll come to your list. Because then, once you've mentioned it, they should then come back to it.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just, you need to be able to feel you can say something, own the agenda of that meeting.
Right, okay.
In the first couple of minutes. So just say, look, I have got a list I'd like to ask you.
And is that the same of when I'm jumping back, look at me saying I was going to do it, but when you're going through treatments and you're thinking, look, I don't understand certain things, that I really appreciate what you said there about this is your time, and that time. Yeah. So it's so often you go into those places and you do want to get out as quickly, but it's their pitch, and so is there that sense of when you are thinking about I want to have this difficult conversation of I'm wondering if I should go vegan, or I should not have sugar, or I should have this treatment, or should I, and that element that is something that you are going to have a conversation there.
Yeah, and the thing is to say I've got these questions, and you can start to answer them. Now, I can say this as a doctor, quite often we won't know necessarily the answer to it.
Yes.
Which is often why we don't ask the question.
Yes.
It's actually fine, but often they'll say, well, look, why don't you have a chat with our nutritionist if you want to? Or why don't you... So it's also taking those moments when you're maybe not in front of the doctor, but you're with one of the nurses, or you're talking to somebody else who's in the team, and just say, look, I feel a bit stupid asking this, but, what about this and what about that? Because you'll be amazed the resources that most hospitals and doctors have at their available to them and available to their patients.
Yes, yeah.
But also use use the groups like Trekstock, use actually support groups, and find, because often, if you're asking the question, you can bet your life that lots of other people have been asking the same question. So kind of using some of those forums to find out what the advice is and feel a bit more empowered to bring it to a health professional. And
those, so we talked about, those support the groups as such, and is there a time for when as a patient and is there a time for patients to find something like that, or is that something that's there at any point, or can be something
they're there,
but
people are going to want to access it at different times depending on their own response to the cancer and everything. There's some people who really don't want to get involved in a wider community whilst they're going through treatment. They actually don't find it helpful. There is others who would find it immensely helpful. And so it's a very individual thing. And you can access them at any time.
Yes.
So it is, and you can dip in and out. So there are times when you're going to want to talk to people about it. There's sometimes you just don't want to acknowledge it ever happened.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's the glory of sort of online communities, is you don't have to be in them all the time.
Yes, yeah.
You can dip in and out.
Yeah, and when you
feel that you have something that you would like to.
And again, I think just going back to that thing of checking in with yourself and going, actually at the moment I don't want to do cancer thing, but or actually at the moment I quite like to see somebody who's gone through something.
And it may be that you don't even feel you need that support until actually you're out the other side, which is quite normal as well. So while you're still in touch with healthcare, you feel, oh, no, that's fine, everything's being met here, but now suddenly you're then discharged from the clinic and it's like, who understands, who can talk to you, who can, that's, you know.
I did what I think some people do, of that I did the opposite of when I was out, I was free. I am free to run and I don't need to think about being sick anymore, about having cancer or anything like that, and actually I needed to have that kind of run for a bit.
Yeah.
And it was 3 years then afterwards that I went, actually I quite like finding other people who are similar age who might have had something similar. This might be a good time to speak to somebody. So,
and it's in some ways it's part of us kind of almost assimilating and accepting that this is part of our story. This is, we're not defined by it, but it's something that we've gone, that I have gone through, and something that is part of my, my life. So we're almost assimilating it as part of ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where we want it to be, really.
Yeah, like I use the corny line of not hiding your scars, and actually they're part of you, and they're not the only thing that defines you, but they're part of you. And I guess as well, one of those things with when you're meeting up with similar young people, you can share those kind of those tips as well. You can have those kind of moments.